what I think I'll do, I'll try out a question at a time at first. If that doesn't work, maybe we'll group some together. And I'll start from the left and work my way through. So if there are questions here, lady in the blue at the front, put her hand up, and then I'll move this way and that way. So we'll see how we go. If you don't mind saying your name, if you don't want to, don't. But if you don't mind saying your name, please.
Catherine McWhirter. It's a fracking question. There could be oil wells all around Haywards Heath, all over mid-Sussex. It's not just a Balcombe issue. So I'd like to ask each candidate, are you in favour of fracking in Sussex? Yes or no, and why?
Miranda.
Thank you for your question. It's a most definite no. Reasons, basically, there's so many reasons, but let me start with the first one. If we do want to prevent climate change, we really need to keep global warming below 2 degrees. If we start taking anything out of the ground, we're not going to hit that target. As that also applies to any kind of fossil fuels. With your question about fracking, I don't think it's safe. There are too many vested interests, too much money involved, and we've already seen the results of that in the USA. We've seen what's been going on in this country with the various companies. Yeah, it's not just about Balcombe. It could be wherever you live. You know, politicians are saying, well, okay, let's not have it down here. I don't want it on my constituency, but it's okay somewhere else up north. Beyond the environmental damage, there's evidence also that it harms people's health, our air, our water, and also the infrastructure as well. Our roads also affected by it. And the rural economy too. There's so many reasons why we must not have this industry here, and not even in Sussex, but absolutely anywhere. I'm completely against it. I would not see it if I was MP here. Thank you.
Greg, and I think I know the answer to this with the case of the Greens, but it's not just a question to the candidate, but also about the time.
Well, first of all, I'll reiterate exactly what I said emphatically last Wednesday in East Grinstead. It's a no. It's as simple as that. And what I did say last week is, quite clearly, I think fracking is an outdated technology. I don't think that we can make any comparison with the US, because the US has miles of open plains and far less densely populated. So the factors around here mitigate against it. I agree with Miranda on this business of the infrastructure, and for those who did know what was going on in Balcombe, you would see quite clearly that there were moves quite cynically by people like Quadrilla to actually bring traffic in when the kids were going to school. So we know infrastructure is a problem, and above all else, the Weald is fractured. It will not be economic to frack in this part of the world.
Thank you.
Everyone gets that. I am in favour of fracking, and I think it would be very foolish to candidate. I think Britain has a very, very well-established and extremely effective regulatory framework for onshore drilling, and whatever protections need to be applied, need to be applied. But in Sussex, I do say that because, quite apart from the fact that the lamentable way that Quadrilla handled Balcombe, and it was absolutely grotesque how badly they did it, you can't frack in very built-up areas. It's a silly thing to do. There isn't the infrastructure, as Greg said. There were thousands of trucks thundering through the place in a heavily populated area, an area instead where there's been an oil well for over 25 years, which has gone on producing oil and will go on producing oil. Perfectly satisfactory. So where do I think it should be? Well, for example, if we want to prove this to people, and I think people are completely entitled for this operation to be proved that it's safe, I would go and start in the Trough of Bowland in Lancashire, which is a very underpopulated area. Yes, it is. Where they're going to frack is very underpopulated, and I think it would be a very good place to start because of the infrastructure there that wouldn't trouble people, and they can prove that this would work. But I would not do it in Sussex. That's not literally idiot.
Let's keep it all polite, please, and also let's keep the order of speaking going. I often tell my son, he's 5 years old, to take turns, and it's very important we do that. So let's keep it all polite. Thank you, Sir Nicholas. Barry.
Right, a bit of a tricky one this.